Okay, this is a crash course, but it's an introductory course, so I'm going to start right at the basics and then move quickly. So if this is something you're familiar with, feel free to just skip past this video. But I'm trying to make this course literally step by step. So you follow on step by step, and at the end of the course, you have your own website that you're happy with. Okay, so you need a web address, and you may already have one, your business may already have one, but if you don't, you need to buy one. And a web address is what's known as a domain. For example, I've gone to namecheap.com. That is a web address. And you may hear differing views, but I hold the view that you want either the .com or your country address. So in my case, it would be .co.uk. If you're making a country-specific website, the country extension is good. But if you're making an international website, or even if you're not, getting the .com is great. Okay, so that's what I would suggest. And you go to a domain registrar, and there's any number of these. There's Namecheap, there's GoDaddy, of course, and there's thousands of others. And you purchase a domain. So just for example's sake, okay, you want to think carefully about your name. Don't dive in too quickly. But let's say I literally hit the keyboard. That is going to be available, I'm pretty sure. So if I search for that, okay, it's still searching, and it's taking a while. So let me pause. Okay, Namecheap is taking ages for some reason. So I've gone to GoDaddy, done the same search, and what a surprise, that is available. So yeah, I could purchase that name, and you generally purchase on a per year basis, or you can purchase multiple years in advance, but there isn't generally a discount or a significant discount for purchasing in advance. But anyway, obviously that's a bad example. You want something memorable, so maybe it's your business name, your personal name, something really catchy. It depends what your market is and what your goals are. And often some of the best names, well, generally some of the best names are gone. So unless you're prepared to spend a lot of money to purchase that name off someone, then you need to start getting a bit creative. And I would advise against putting hyphens in. I've seen successful sites with hyphens, but one good thing I've kept in mind over the years is if you're talking to someone over the phone and you're trying to send them to your website, you want to make it easy to explain or easy to say over the phone, and hyphens, dashes, or whatever you want to call them, make it more difficult. And sort of cute spellings instead of I don't know, this is for me, is .com. Instead of that, people start replacing words with numbers. I think that's unnecessary and just confuses people. And again, it's difficult to say over the phone, which is a good thing to keep in mind. So do take your time thinking of a name you're happy with. And you can, of course, get multiple variations, but you don't need to spend money on this unnecessarily. And if you're stuck about what to call your site, maybe look at your market competition, look at other markets, come up with ideas. And even just tweaking the name a bit can sometimes give you an available name. Just as an example, let's say your business name is ABC, so abc.com, gone, of course. But maybe you could add, it's not great, but maybe you could add ABC Inc., perhaps, for incorporated, or maybe include your local area, or add an extra word like media or something, as long as it makes sense for you. So slight variations can give you a great name that's actually available. It can take a bit of time and a bit of creative thinking sometimes. And I would, okay, this may sound a little bit strange. I would advise against doing too many searches through registrars, through a domain registrar before you're ready to buy. So I would come up with loads of ideas, and sometimes what I do is just go to Google and I would type in the web address like, okay, abc.com. Actually, I did not mean to do that. Excuse me. I was not properly in Google. Actually, go to Google rather than, there we go. Let's go to that. Okay, abc.com. Yeah, obviously it's taken by ABC. Or if that doesn't bring up anything, sometimes search in quotes. But the reason is, sometimes when I'm coming up with an address for a new website, I like to take a few days and take my time and let the creative juices flow, so to speak, and let the ideas sit in the back of my mind for a while. And if you're constantly searching for addresses in registrars, I've often, okay, again, maybe I'm being daft, but I'm sure I'm not the only person who's experienced this. You search for something, it's available. You go, oh, that's great. You come back the next day and it's taken. And maybe registrars are just seeing what's being searched for and actually paying attention to good searches. Who knows? But I would say do searches outside of registrars. Actually go to the web address as well to double check it's available or not. And you can also go, okay, you want to do a whois search. It's called whois. There's plenty of places to do this. I often go whois.domaintools.com / and then the web address. So in this case, abc.com. Okay. And that's another way of finding out if it's available or not without going directly through a registrar. Okay, so then once I know whether it's available or not, and when I've actually thought about this for a few days, I only start doing searches here to double check or triple check it's available once I'm actually ready to buy, so I can literally buy minutes later. Again, it's happened to me enough times to make me think, what's happening here? So I'm particularly careful about that now. But who knows? Maybe I'm being paranoid. So okay, so that gets you your address on the web. And again, you don't have to buy multiple years in advance. There's not usually a huge benefit. You can usually just buy year to year. Okay, that's Namecheap is still searching. Okay, you could buy multiple variations if you really want, like .com, .info, .co, .net. If it's a really, really important brand to you and it's going to, you're going to invest a lot of money into it, it might make sense to get all the variations. And, how far do you want to take it? You could also get brandnamesucks.com, for example. Let's see, if you type in, I think, GoDaddySucks.com. If GoDaddy hasn't purchased this, somebody else has, and people post bad reviews there. Okay, interestingly, it's not connecting, but I've seen other websites where people have purchased name of a company plus sucks, and there's just tons and tons of bad reviews. So it depends how far you want to secure your brand. You can get all sorts of variations, but when you're starting out a small business, there's no need to really get anything beyond the .com and maybe your country level extension, so .co.uk, .us, .de, .fr, whatever it may be. So that's your name on the web. That in itself doesn't do anything. You just own the address. But then after you've purchased it, if you go to the address, you'll find there's nothing really there. So what you next need to do is you need to get web hosting, which I'll come to in the next video.